Hi, guys, and welcome to Desi Dutch. This is your host, Amjay, reporting live from Eindhoven. And today we have a guest from Turkey, Ankara specifically, because today we're going to be talking about the lockdown, the quarantine that's happening in the city of Ankara. And I want you to welcome my friend Akbar to the podcast. Akbar, welcome to Desi Dutch.
Thanks for inviting me out. Nice to be here. I've actually been waiting a very long time to be on here. I've been a very avid listener,
Yes,
and
for all the listeners, Akbar has been one of my, you can say, supporters from the start. So it's really exciting to have one of my really good friends on board. So yeah, Akbar, how do you feel?
oh man, where to begin? I feel, to be honest, I don't think the whole quarantine's having that much of an effect on me because I myself am like a bit of an introvert. So being in lockdown kind of suits my agenda. It kind of suits my lifestyle. Nothing happens to me. But things are a bit different this time around. It feels different, you know.
Yeah,
For the gamers out there, it's got a very Last of Us vibe. You know, you look out on the street and there's literally no one
no
there.
one
There's maybe
there. Yeah,
yeah. So it's not like it was before. You know, I mean, normally on a weekend I just stay in. I'd watch Netflix. I'd play video games. I wouldn't care about anything going on. But now I feel like, you know, I have to be in the house. I have to watch Netflix. I can't do anything else.
it's it's
Kind
like
of like when you're
yeah,
like, how to explain it? Like kind of like when it's Ramzan and you're fasting, you know, you
and
can't
you just get hungry and thirsty for no reason, right?
for no reason. You're just like, I can't drink. Oh my
and
God, I can't drink water. So
I'm thirsty now. It's the same thing.
exactly.
It's like your the illusion of choice has been taken away from you, right? Every other day, I come from work at 7 p.m. I settle in, I have my dinner, and then I play a video game, or I talk to my friends, or I play like I watch a series or something, and that's how I spend my 5 hours, right, till
Right.
12, and then I clean up the house, and then I go to sleep. But now at 7, I'm like, I need to go out. And I'm like, why? You never went out. You never went out on the weekdays. Why do you want to go out? It's just the fact that I can't go out. Now I want to go out.
Yeah.
It's like the
What
forbidden fruit thing, right? It's just like, if I can't
exactly?
go out, I want to go out.
It's the psychology that messes with your head. Like I would never go to the grocery store uh, ever. I mean, I'd always order and I have that luxury, you know, God bless. But now that all this has happened, I literally went to the grocery store the other day. I looked at BIM and I was like, wait, what do I need from here again? I
Yeah,
couldn't figure it out.
yeah, I know. Like, it's like, like, I love my grocery shopping time. Okay, it's like my time. It's like my Zen time. I go out to do groceries. I scan around the place. I once, like, first I go to the cheap store, the Moroccan store, where I get all the necessities that I need, and then I go to the expensive store like the Real in Ankara, or like here it's called Yumbo, and then you have everything, right? The luxury of everything, and then you just spend half an hour, 45 minutes is there with your trolley, checking everything out, like, oh, this seems nice, oh, this seems nice. And now when you go, you just like panic buying, right? You're like, okay, what do I need? I need toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, I need milk. I went to Yumbo, I out of milk. I'm like, what the hell, where will I get my milk? I never drink milk, I rarely drink milk. But at that
Wow.
point in time, I just wanted to buy 5 liters of milk. I'm like, I need milk. Where is milk? I need milk. You're like in Ross and Friends is like, juice. I need juice.
I need juice, yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
mean, specifically because we've started working from home. Regarding my office related stuff, I work from home these days. We're doing remote days and stuff. So, like, I told my brother the other day, I was like, we should go to the grocery store. We should pick up cereal and milk because now that I don't have to go to office, I can start a proper breakfast routine because when I was going to office, I never had one. We ended up leaving the grocery store with two bottles of 1 liter Coke, um, some gaufret, what's it called?
yeah, go for
Wafers.
it. Wafers or
We left with some wafers. Zarek really likes the kurabiye, the cookies and stuff. And when we got home, we were like, we forgot something. And this morning when I woke up for work, I was like, the cereal. We forgot the
We
cereal.
forgot the cereal. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
one of the luxuries that I have here is that I fast, right? So breakfast was never an option for me, even when I was working normally, and now I'm working still. Doesn't bother me. I wake up at 9:30, do a little bit of meditation. I shifted my running to the afternoons because you have a lot of time on your hands. Today, at my we also working from home, but we call each other every morning, right? Every morning at 10 a.m. we all sit
Yeah.
down early,
Same.
yeah, and just have
9 a.m.
yeah, stand up. And we just call
Mm-hmm.
it a stand up where we just check each other out. So my boss asked everybody how is it going and everything, and everyone is
You
just
check each other out.
yeah, we're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Some of us are getting really crazy. They're like, yeah, I'm getting too bored. So my boss is like, yeah, you need to stick to your daily routine. And I said, I feel like you need to shuffle up your daily routine in the sense you need to expand it a little bit. Before that, when I
Right.
used to get up, I used to be like running, meditate, do two languages, one Farsi, Persian, and one like Dutch, and then listen to my podcast on the way to work. That's how my daily routine was. Really that like cramped up together. Now I spread it out. Now I just wake up, do some meditation. That's it. Do my work for a
You
few
still listen to
hours.
the podcast?
Yeah, I still listen to the podcast while working. So that's how I spread it out. Now I meditate, listen to the podcast while working, go out running, come back, take a good shower, work again for a few hours, do my languages, work again for a few hours. I feel like if you spread it out a little bit, it's much easier for you to cope.
Yeah,
I'm saving
definitely.
up on 3 hours of commute. I used to commute for 3 hours, 1.5 hour going, 1.5 hour coming back. So I have so much time on my hands. Like this podcast,
God,
this
that's
this
really
series of
nice.
this Corona series is one of the reasons it's bearing fruit because I have a lot of time on my hands.
Well, I mean, the coronavirus has its pros and its cons. I mean, just look at all the pollution that's cleared up in the world. I mean, I've been looking at different articles and stuff and just looking at the ways that they're showing what, like the heat pollution is disappearing and that whales and dolphins are
They're
coming to
coming back.
Venice. Like, what the hell?
The canals in Venice are clearing up. Ducks are coming there to swim.
Yeah.
Whales are coming back in, I think, South Africa or somewhere. In China, NASA said above China there's a smog. If you see
Mm-hmm.
the International Space Station or from a satellite, you don't see China properly. It's smog because of all the factories. Now the factories have
Yeah.
been closed for 2-3 weeks. You can actually clearly see China now. And it's like, okay, mind blown. What are we? What are we
That
doing?
God bless the coronavirus to some extent.
Yeah, yeah.
To
There's
some extent.
always pros and cons, right? Always pros and cons. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's made us realize what we're like as human beings. You know, how like what kind of people amongst us, like what kind of people hoard toilet paper, or what kind of people like spread paranoia, or like that sort of stuff.
Long live the bidet, my friend. Long live the bidet.
The yeah, 100%, yeah. Turkey has divided as well, and I'm so happy about that, man. I mean,
It's the
honestly.
first thing I installed. It's so funny. Like it's just something I proudly say. When I moved here to Holland, the first thing I brought it from Pakistan. First thing I installed, and us Pakistanis, we are not really that good with all that, handyman kind of stuff because we have cheap labor back home. We have the luxury of having cheap labor, so we have people. I had a really good friend of mine, like not a friend, but I guess he was like an electrician called Nasir Bhai, and he used to do
Mm.
everything from electrician like kind of stuff, electrician stuff, it's fixing lights and stuff, as well as plumbing stuff. He knew everything. He was a very versatile fellow. And here I come back, I call him up, and I'm like, Nasir Bhai, you have to help me. I need to fix this bidet in this toilet, and you need to tell me how. He's like, I've never seen this kind of toilets before. And I'm like, I don't care. Fix it for me. So he taught me how to take the flush pipe out, split it up so that I can get some bidet water. And I'm like, I'm so proud of myself, like a spoiled Pakistani boy managed to fix his own bathroom. It's
I
pretty
mean,
interesting.
I don't think anyone would ever call you spoiled, Abdul Ahad.
Yeah.
Very different perspective of what spoiled people would be like. I mean,
Yeah,
you just went ahead and like installed a freaking plumbing application in your bathroom. That's dedication.
that's
Okay, you
dedication. I
yeah,
think I
you've
think
earned
you
my respect.
I think you look at it in a way that I saw the toilet paper epidemic coming in, and this was like my my solution to
Yeah,
that.
this the farsightedness, the
Yeah.
foresight.
Well, interesting. So, Akbar, tell us, like, okay, the coronavirus is hitting. You have your own, your own way of dealing with it. How's it going? How's remote working going? How are you doing with your colleagues? How are you doing with Zarak, your brother, and your roommate? How are you dealing with the situation? How is social distancing? I don't think it's that much distancing because you have two people in your household right now. But how's it going?
Well, we have three people in my household for the time being. Myself, my flatmate who is Turkish, and my brother who is
Yeah.
Pakistani, like me. My brother's taken up occupation in our lounge.
Mm.
Uh, Sorry, he hasn't taken up occupation. He's been accommodated in the lounge. Sorry about that. And he's really he's enjoying himself. He's having a blast. He's kind of like me. He can self entertain. He can just be on his phone, and he'll be on YouTube looking at videos for hours. He'll be talking to his friends. But it's something that hasn't been done before. Like, I mean, my brother and I, we haven't spent this much time in a room together for an extended period of time. Normally we're like, he's like, Akbar, do you want to go and play chess? Let's go to Mr. Cafe, you can do your nargile and I'll just play chess with you. Or he'll be like, let's go meet up with the boys, with the lads, we'll play poker or something, and I'll be down for that. But now we can't even do that. It would normally be so easy for us to like get around town, to want to get around town, because there's so many transport options and stuff, especially the Bilk and bus. You might remember we had
Yes.
like a bus going every hour. Now we literally just have three buses in a day.
But are you even
Okay.
allowed to use the bus?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. As an alumni of Bilkent, I can still use it
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got that going for me. So yeah. So transportation out of the question. Leaving the house out of the question. What do I do? We have been on Netflix for as long as I can remember, Ahad. I've been binge watching series. I showed my brother the Peaky Blinders. He fell in love with it.
Oh, five
Uh,
seasons. 5 seasons.
yes, we're 4 seasons down. Spoiler alert for people who don't know: a certain Italian shows up who is played by our favorite actor, and he just left the scene. Zarik's a bit depressed about that. We finished Stranger Things from start to finish. I showed it to him. He loved it.
That's also 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, yeah, we've got 3 seasons of that. He really, really liked Stranger Things, and to be honest, this is one of the pros of the coronavirus. I get to see things with my brother, and it's fun. I've forgotten what it feels like to watch the series with someone.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's like whenever I used to be home, like for me, it's still relatively similar because I still live alone. But that you're sitting with someone, enjoying it, doing some commentary, enjoying a little bit of together time, and
exactly.
yeah, here it's a lot of fun with that. Sometimes my girlfriend visits us, so
Mm.
it's more fun. What we watch Indian movies, like hardcore old school Bollywood style. We just watched BV number one yesterday. For God's sake, that's a movie I think from the 1990s or something. Oh, it was such an amazing movie. My mind was blown. This is how we're coping with it. We need a dose of Bollywood to cope with it.
1990s. You say it like it's such an old time, but then if you think about it, it's literally 30 years ago.
Exactly. That is pretty old if you think about it.
Crap.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what do you think? How you think it's gonna work out? How you think about the work? You guys, are you getting work done?
All right. So the work aspect is I'm getting work done. I feel like I'm really, really productive at the start of the day. Like I get up, we have our stand up at like 9:15 a.m.
Yeah.
and like everyone's talking and like you just go with the flow. Okay. You get to hear what other people's experiences are like, working from home, and sometimes it's interesting. They just turn their videos on when we're like on Google Hangouts. Like my lead will have her baby with her, and everyone's like we all have like an ooh awe session with little baby, and then after that you just get to work. Like you have to get that drive within yourself, because obviously no one's watching you, no one's cracking a whip. You have to make sure that you get your work done. You have to keep your mind on your task at all times. You have to make sure there are no distractions,
Yeah.
which is really hard in my case because my house isn't that big. And in order to work, like I have a couple of meetings, so I want to be in a quiet place, and my room
Yeah.
is rather quiet. And at the same time, I have my TV and I have my PS4 and I've got my Netflix and I've got everything inches away from me. It's right there. It's just like, Akbar, I'm right here, and I have to fight that every day. And I'm really happy that till today I have won that fight every second.
Well, there
Uh,
are weeks to go. Let's see how long do you last.
yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, I know
But
exactly how you feel because we have the same thing, right? Mornings, we actually are getting so deprived, some of our workers, that they have actually made two rooms. One, we have our own software dev people have our own room called the living room, where you can
Mhm.
just pop in. If you're feeling lonely, you can pop in there and anyone can join it at any time, and then you guys can talk to each other, work related, non-work related. Then we also have a thing called the Waikiki hut, and that's the place where people just go to chill, have drinks together. So I actually saw videos of people having their wine glass with them and talking to each other. Everyone had their wine glass with them, and they're just talking. It's like they're sitting next to each other. They're trying to recreate that image. And today was Friday, so it was a weekend. So usually weekend work stops early, right? So we have one of our
Mhm.
friends who's from Turkey, actually, Kurtuluş. He's also DJ. So what he did was he started a YouTube channel, or he already had a YouTube channel, and he started a live stream of that YouTube channel, right? And he started playing music in the YouTube channel. And he started playing music, and someone from the Waikiki had added his YouTube page to the stream. So the music is in the Waikiki hut now. Everybody's there. Everybody's dancing with their wine glass in their hand,
Jamming.
and I'm like, okay, this is like they're trying to take this social isolation and social distancing to a new level. Because in the end,
Right.
inherently, we are social species, right? We crave contact, right?
Do
It's
we? I
we
mean,
do. We do. Yeah, definitely. I can speak from experience. Living alone, you crave social experience, and this is like my way of adjusting. Right? Another one of the reasons for this daily series is the fact that daily I
Mhm.
get to talk to someone, and for at least a few minutes or more, like sometimes hours if it maybe, and just to get to know their perspective and talk random stuff. So like, not
Yeah.
really what we're talking right now is that informative for people. It's just that they get to listen to guys amidst this outbreak, or just enjoying each other's company. Right? That's what I want to portray.
Hey, at best, maybe I'm gonna go over your I'll go over your podcast, and I'll be a listener. So I'm definitely gonna hear this episode. You know that, right? So you're gonna have at least one listener. So don't feel too
How,
bad.
uh,
Maybe you could listen to it with me. We can, like, just get on Hangouts and let's listen to the podcast
podcast
together,
together.
like proper sad people. Nothing better to do.
Yes. So like
Which is
Akbar,
true, actually.
yeah.
Like, I mean, if you go on Instagram and you see the Instagram stories of all your friends, there's so many people who have like this new trend where they're like, uh respond with the fire emoji and I will post your best photograph on my story. And I was just like, that is such a good way to spend your time, because people are going to respond to that, because of course we have that need to know exactly, okay, what picture does this person think is the best of mine.
And
And
that
at the
person's few
same
hours
time,
is gone.
exactly, yeah, so
Yeah.
like it's such a creative way of killing time.
There's a lot more stuff. I just saw another friend of us post assumptions, true or false.
Oh
And
yeah, that's funny.
so that's a nice
That's
one,
funny.
right? Okay, tell me an
Oh
assumption
yeah.
about me, and I'll tell you if it's true or false. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's not really an accurate representation, because it's not an assumption if other people are saying necessarily. Because what if it is true, but you thought it think is an assumption, and then you call
Hmm.
it false, but it's in reality it's who you are because you don't want to accept your flaws, right?
Or you don't want others to know them.
Yeah, and even then you're gonna say it false. So I didn't really
Yeah.
understand the credibility of this. It's just, I think, more entertainment, and it's just for fun. People are just
You
doing
gotta,
it.
yeah, you'll just have to take it at face value, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really fun. So Akbar, any comments, like any, what do you say, suggestions? You've been watching a lot of Netflix. You said your Spotify is broken down, so I don't know about that. Sorry to hear that. But Netflix, any suggestions? Video games, any suggestions for our listeners? Any, all two or three of them who want to know?
Hmm. Okay. I can actually read out to you some of the suggestions that some of my friends gave me, and I'll actually tell you if they're any good or not. They're not too many. So someone says Star Wars, and you and I both know that if your listeners have not seen Star Wars, that they need to see Star.
See Star Wars.
I'm kidding. This is just a fan in me. But
You
like,
need
yeah, sure.
you need to sign up for Disney Plus, and you guys need to watch Star Wars. It's a
Oh
huge
yeah,
request.
yeah. Now that's the only way to watch it, isn't it? Disney
Yeah.
Plus. Well, Turkey doesn't have Disney Plus just yet, so we're just sitting here with our fingers crossed, and we're definitely not illegally torrenting Star Wars. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine in Spain. I'm not sure if you're aware of this friend in Spain. He suggested Ministerio del Tiempo.
Oh my God, this guy has been suggesting this show to hundreds of people. Anyway, when I'm with him, he always goes like, guys, you have to see Ministero del Tempo, the Ministry of Time, the Ministry of Time. I'm like, I'll see it, my friend, I'll see it. You don't need to repeat it every single. He's like, such an amazing show, such an amazing show. So if you guys are listening, please watch that show. He will be really happy.
Yeah, and if you like it, please tell Ahad so that this friend of ours can, get his ego boost.
Satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah, satisfaction. Let's put it at that. Someone says Lord of the Rings. Now
Oh,
you and I are
binge
well
watchers.
acquainted with Lord of the Rings. Why don't you tell us about Lord of the Rings,
Oh,
Ahad?
that was a wonderful story. We binge watched the extended version of Lord of the Rings and the two Hobbit series, right? Before the third Hobbit came out in the cinema.
Yeah, we watched it the next day in the cinema.
We watched everything the night before so that we can watch. And the thing is, Akbar wanted to watch the third episode of The Hobbit. I saw Lord of the Rings, but I never remembered it. So he was like, we're going to binge watch everything tonight so we both can go tomorrow and watch together. So we bought, I think, 8 or 10 packets of Red Bull, and
Wow.
we just sat there, burned through. I think 12 hours was just Lord of the Rings, the extended
Yeah,
version, 3 4 hours per movie. Oh my god, uh,
that's a memory that I will cherish and I will tell my grandchildren about.
that was a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Other suggestions here are actually very readily available on Netflix as well. We've got The Good Place.
Ah,
Um, this is that Heaven and Hell sitcom.
yeah.
I don't know if it's turned as a sitcom. Mindhunter.
Oh,
Now that's a bit of a
that's a good show though. I've seen that.
yeah. Mindhunter. Like I mean, it's the sort of thing that Zarek would really be into, to be honest.
I definitely think he would be really into it.
Crime oriented. Black Sails. That's also a good suggestion out there. Also Netflixable. And This Is Us. I haven't seen it, so I can't attest to this.
Neither have I.
Yeah, so I'm not going to like 100% stand by it. Mad Men. That is a very good suggestion. Now, see,
Oh,
this is very close to what I do for a living as well. See, I'm
exactly.
in the advertising industry, and Mad Men is also in it. So, guys, as a guest on the Desi Dutch's show, I'm going to. This is my suggestion.
The Mad Men,
Mad Men.
yes. I
Yeah,
saw that show really, I think years ago. I think it is an old show, right?
yeah.
It didn't have any new episodes coming out.
It's finished.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I saw some of it. One suggestion that I have, two suggestions actually, the ones I saw. If you've seen Mark Maron's The End Times stand-up comedy.
I have not, but I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy.
Oh, that guy was amazing. I don't know, it was his delivery, it was the content, it was wonderful. It was all about the end times. He's thinking this is the end times because he's a Jew. So he brought that a lot, that he's a Jew. So that was a lot of fun. He said
Nice.
it was really nice. And the other one that I really liked was I can't yeah, one thing that's on Netflix now, and it's number one in Holland. You know that new thing that came out with Netflix, right? They show you the top 10 in your country.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's number one in Holland right now. John Wick 3. If you haven't seen the John
Oh,
Wick series, I recommend you watch John Wick series. It's gonna be the best thing ever.
are all three available? I think
I
one
think
and two
so.
were.
Yeah, 3 just came
Yeah.
out, so it's number one right now in Holland. So
Okay.
that's pretty nice.
I'm going to take this suggestion of yours because I've seen one and two, and just yesterday, Zarek was telling me that he hasn't seen John Wick. So I think
Oh,
I'll snatch at this
yeah,
opportunity.
this is something I'm having a really big FOMO about. If watching the John Wick series with you two, I just we need to add Ahmed into the mix, and it would be like what was that movie? Casino Royale all over again.
Oh yes, that was good. Well,
Oh.
we always have like that quarantine group on Facebook Messenger. Just hit us up on that. And the way we streamed our FIFA match the other day,
Yeah.
we can stream. I think there are lots of apps that let you watch certain things with friends, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think yeah, I think there is, but
they
there
must
are
be booming.
yeah. These are all ideas for your advertising company, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Let me write this down.
All right, thank you so much, Akbar, for your time. This was wonderful. It feels like we caught up, although we did talk to each other like yesterday or something.
I think we talked to each other this morning.
Yeah. So, any other passing leaving comments for our 2, 3 listeners who are listening?
Yes, you asked me for a gaming suggestion
Yeah.
for our friends, and I would say that Call of Duty Warzone is free for everybody.
I saw that yesterday, and I was like, I feel like Akbar's gonna say something.
Please, guys, download this game.
It's like the whole PUBG and Fortnite kind of fiasco, right?
Yes, yeah, it's a battle royale, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of battle royales.
Yeah.
I hate Fortnite. I hate PUBG. Please don't hold it against me.
Yeah.
But it's just not my thing. But Warzone really changed everything for me.
Yeah.
So like that is number one on my suggestion list, and number two would probably be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order because I finished it for the second time just yesterday, and I am a Star Wars fan. And anyone who likes Dark Souls or like adventure action RPGs with good stories, or is just a Star Wars fan, this is the game for you.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Akbar, for your time.
Thank you for
And
having me.
and now I'm just gonna say some credits. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you really enjoyed this show. I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.